turn this over here. Now I'm going to give a full profile.
All right.
He's here in a kilt
I
today.
am. Blinding white legs and all.
So come over here, have a seat,
Yes, sir.
say hello,
Hello.
and tell the people who you are.
So I am Joshua. I am the blacksmith, JJL Forge, and that's YouTube, Facebook, everything.
JJL Forge.
Yes, sir.
So you're here blacksmithing. I don't see any horses.
No, my idea of shoeing horses is yelling boo from the gate. As a kid, I actually had one lay down on me, on top of me. So I said, that's enough. As a 12-year-old, 12,000-pound beast on top of you is enough to.
Sounds like Smudge.
Well, maybe a little bit, but no, that was enough for me. So
What's that?
we do. We have Gizmo's brother. They were calling him Bear, and we switched it to Bjorn. So it's Bear in Nordish, Swedish.
Okay.
But no, I don't have much to do with horses. I do make some rings out of horseshoe nails for a prairie diamond, but that's about as close as I get.
Hold that thought a second. Said Homer, hello. Good to see you in here. Go ahead.
Oh, not a problem. But yeah, the horseshoe nail rings are prairie diamonds, and the cool story behind those is when the boys would move out west and purchase land, they'd be low on cash when they found a nice lady to marry, and they'd go to propose and not have any money for a nice ring, so they go to the blacksmith instead, and he'd hunt around his shop for a small bit of metal to make a little iron ring out of, and he stumbled across an old horseshoe nail that he pulled, and the heads of horseshoe nails are a little bit diamond shaped.
Okay, yeah.
So he just real quick, 5 minutes, knocked out a ring shape out of it with the head of that nail being the diamond, and it stuck. My great grandmother is actually a prairie diamond bride.
Okay.
So that's kind of how that story came to me.
So how's your weekend been here?
Warm, cold. A forced march on Wednesday out to our campsite. Thankfully, we were able to switch before I stroked out.
So you were at a different campground?
We were at a state park locally here, and it's a gorgeous site. We just weren't physically ready to hike 9 people in with equipment for 9 people a mile into a campsite.
So from where they make you park your car, you had to walk a mile.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Absolutely. And our tent is about 75 pounds.
But the area is beautiful.
Oh, it's gorgeous. It is a phenomenal place. And if you're just 1 or 2 people and you're used to backpacking and whatnot, it's great. The state park, it's Sky Meadows State Park, and it's got a historic site and building to it. It's a absolutely phenomenal place to stay and do some hiking at. But you're going to do some hiking to get to the campsites.
So what exactly are you doing here today?
Today I am mostly demonstrating blacksmithing and discussing with folks that come up how that can impact their homestead.
Okay.
And historically speaking, blacksmiths were the civil engineers of the time. Frontier blacksmiths would be some of the first people to settle in an area. Highly sought for, and usually wound up getting placed in positions like the mayorship and stuff like that over a new town. But we're pretty vital as we make all the tools. Every other craft has to come to you basically for some part of their craft as a blacksmith.
Okay, that's interesting thought. I had not thought of it that way.
Absolutely.
I know that I know a lot of people just think that the term blacksmith means you shoe horses.
Sure. Well, that's a real specific field of blacksmithing called farrier.
Okay.
That's the title of the person that does the shoeing is the farrier.
Okay.
There's also bladesmithing. There's armor smithing. There's now machinists and modern metal workers. They also fall under the canopy with us blacksmiths.
So you do things like make knives?
I do quite a bit. Make some custom knives, specifically since Fortune Fire has gotten into being such a hit show on History Channel. It's a competition for knife makers, basically. But folks have come to me quite often asking for a custom blade since then. So.
And you make jewelry?
I do make some jewelry. The prairie diamond rings, copper and steel hairpins. I've got a new hairpin product out this weekend. That's like a bow, but it's made out of Damascus steel or pattern welded steel.
Okay.
With a hairpin piece that goes through that.
Well, you just mentioned copper. Now, copper is a non-ferrous metal.
It is, and it works completely backwards to steel, except you still have to get it warm.
Okay.
It doesn't work as high of heat, and it's a lot more finesse involved with it.
Do you do other metals? Do you do aluminum?
I don't, however, I'm also the guild president in our area, and the vice president, he does a lot of aluminum casting and aluminum work.
Oh, casting, so they're actually melting it and using molds and...
Absolutely.
Okay.
So with the blacksmithing and more with the bladesmithing side of things, I can get into a little bit of lost wax, some of the jewelry as well, some lost wax casting procedures.
Okay.
Obviously, in a public demo, that's kind of dangerous. So,
right.
You know, we don't really get into that except back at the shop. I can do some of that stuff.
Yeah, and for those of you that might be wondering, you're actually bringing the steel to what temperature to be molten?
Well, for molten steel, you're up there quite a bit. You're in the 3,200 to 3,700 range, depending on what the material actually is. For most of my working temperatures, I'm working in the 1,500 to 2,500 degree range.
Right. It's not molten, but it's
right. It's
soft. Pliable.
It's like really stiff Play-Doh to work.
Okay. And of course, you work quickly and.
Absolutely. I'm sorry, I got a little distracted. Big Bear's over there at my anvil tinking around, so he's trying to distract me over there. Oh.
You guys haven't ever heard of Big Bear, I'm sure. Anyway, he's just.
And it's something stupid. Like
he's just being troublemaker. He's coming over here.
Here he comes.
Try not to take him in the...
Did you touch the hot metal?
I have.
Crap, it's hot. I thought it was already cool.
I see flames.
There are some over there. I left it to coke up a little bit.
So let me get out of the way. We'll let Big Bear sit in here.
No, I can't sit in because if Robin comes back,
He's a giant.
if I see Robin,
He's a giant
I got to duck back because my
He
responsibility
absolutely
right now
is.
is to be watching the booth. And technically, I'm watching the booth, but in her mind, it would not be the watching the booth on how it's supposed to be.
So you want me to go watch your booth?
He is like just trying every way he can to get me in trouble this year.
Well, I already did my best.
Yeah.
So you flat denied that last night. So
Look, man, I'm in so much pain today. I might be going in your truck here in a few minutes.
fair enough.
Yeah, I'm hurting today.
Well, I know last year you were here,
Yes, sir.
and you had a class the day before.
I
and
did.
A dozen people with custom
Individual forges and
forges. And
that was a lot of fire.
Everybody can see everything.
There you go. There you go. Oop, absolutely.
Mama's coming back. I gotta run.
yeah.
pretty close. I think he's actually got a kiddo over there to talk to. So, but yes, I did classes last year and this year, hands-on classes. This year we limited it to 5, and I brought my one big forge instead of having several little fires.
Yeah, I saw it was a little different yesterday. I didn't bother you.
No, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, last year it kind of helped set things up for you.
And it was a lot of help actually. And I decided that that was a little bit too much chaos to try and wrangle.
Okay, what temperature does iron melt?
Iron, so like actual iron, like wrought iron, old school wrought iron, is way up there. That's the 35 to 3,700 degree range. Steel, mild steel in particular, A36, it melts right at 3,200 degrees. High carbon steel will actually start to melt around 2,700 degrees.
Okay. And and you can develop that heat from what source?
You can even go as basic as hardwood charcoal.
Okay, so you can do it with wood.
You can absolutely do it with even green firewood. You just need a fan to force air into the fire.
Yeah. Last year when he did the classes, he stole his wife's hairdryer.
I did, absolutely. My rotary fan snapped on me. The set screw snapped. Since then, I've gone in and put a little weld bead on it and got it working right. But no, she wasn't too happy with that. It didn't melt, but it definitely puckered the hairdryer a little bit. So it was phenomenal.
So is this your full-time profession?
It is now. This February marks 2 years.
2 years, full-time.
Full-time.
Great. Come here. And it's just continually growing for you.
It is. It definitely is.
And where are you from?
Well, my folks are gypsies, but for the past 17 years, I've called Newport, Virginia home.
Okay, so you're from Virginia.
Yes, sir.
Now, do you have a website? How do people get a hold of you?
Easiest way would be to get a hold of me through Facebook, and that's a JJL Forge Facebook page.
Okay.
I had a website for a couple of years, and I never saw any traffic on it. So I let that lapse and did away with it. Now, in the future, I might put one up again, but...
and you have a YouTube channel.
I do have a YouTube channel. It's very, very small and sparse in its videos, but I try to focus more on teaching how to actually do a project rather than have a project and show overall steps.
Okay, very interesting. Anything else you want to share?
I definitely appreciate you guys being here. You guys are adoptive parents, I think, to us, and my 7 minions running around. Don't be afraid to.
Okay, Todd is asking here, what temperature does black iron pots start to melt? And I'm sure he's asking that because that's probably what you melt the soft steel in.
Right. So like a great big old cauldron black iron or the cast iron pots that they use for apple butter. Sometimes those things will take a lot of heat. If you're talking about the crucibles that they actually melt the iron in to begin with, those things go really, really, really hot because they're made out of ceramic.
His channel is JJL Forge, and somebody put the link in here earlier. I think it was Reap What You Sold. Put the link in earlier.
I thought I saw it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw it. So, but it's JJL Forge. There it is. Yeah,
there it is.
Yeah, Reap What You Sold. Put the link in. JJL Forge, and he makes some really neat things. Do you do custom things from
Primarily.
Facebook?
Primarily what my bread and butter is and my business is custom ironwork. If you can dream it up and have a picture or an inspirational picture for it, I can pretty much come pretty close to it.
So you could make these real fancy fences, for example.
Absolutely. They're cost prohibitive for most folks, but yes.
And so if you ever want the real deal, those real fancy fences you see going across, that the tops are all like arrowheads, and that way when you drop things on them they stick.
Yes. So if that's the case, I am your huckleberry.
So they will not melt down at 2,800 degrees.
They should not. If you know, that shouldn't be a case. If there's an impurity in it, in the manufacturing, then yes, it could break and melt. But under normal times and use, it's not going to get that. It's not going to melt away at that point. Just out of curiosity, what are you doing to get that pot that hot?
They live in southern Louisiana.
Sure. Yeah, I know.
He probably sets them out on the porch to get them out.
There you go. I do know that once it hits about 75, I switch to night shift because it's 40 to 50 degrees hotter in my shop than the outside air temperature.
Okay.
So I can totally sympathize and understand setting something out there. And in Texas, my grandparents would set out iced tea jugs to make sun tea, and that would be how they brewed the tea.
Now I would guess one of the things that kind of hurts you is the weight, as far as people being able to buy and shipping.
Yes, quite a bit. That is the case. I have usually got a 2-week. Awesome. Thank you very much. I do have about a 2 to 3 week, depending on the project and the complexity thereof, weight.
Okay.
So that would be that lead time that I've got. But and the way I normally operate for a larger project is I'll take a half down deposit, and then the remainder upon completion and delivery. So,
Okay.
but I definitely appreciate you guys.
Okay. Now before you go there, you got to tell us about the kilt. What's the deal with the kilt?
So the kilt is all because
Is that because you're working with something hot and you need a draft?
For me, definitely. I have found that it is definitely a godsend to have that nice breeze to lift and separate stuff. But D. Oh, okay. Wanted to know if you could put them in your kiln. Should be able to, no problem.
Yeah, he just bought his wife a kiln, some ceramics, pottery.
So it will definitely glow and be hot. And in fact, a lot of folks do enameling over those cast iron pots and pans and stuff, particularly the Dutch ovens. They'll put a ceramic coating over that, and it then gets fired. So I'm definitely sure that is not going to melt in your kiln.
As long as you don't.
Right. As long as you don't abuse it, you'll be okay. 2,800 degrees should be good. But the kilt, D got it for myself and Big Bear. I think more as a joke than anything else, thinking that neither of us might wear them very much. But I wear mine.
And just share that. D is.
Homestead Highlands? No, she is down there in Louisiana as well. Jason calls her Mama D, and my brain has completely.
Sherry.
Robin would be the person to ask, because she is Robin's helper.
Sherry, real quick. Who is D? Who's the kilt supplier?
Right.
D.
What's her last name?
D225.
Okay, D225. But she's a great lady. She's she's definitely brought a lot of life and joy to my forge, and a lot of excitement, because let me tell you, when you're used to having pants over your legs and you drop a piece of steel, you dance a lot faster when your legs are bare.
All right. Anything else you want to share?
No, just thank you guys for being here and setting this up.
Come back tomorrow.
Definitely.
We'll be here again.
Definitely.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you much.
You want to be on the live TV?
Who, me?
Yes, you. Come on, it's right there.
Hello! What's going on? Who's in there?
We have Virginia, Piece of Heaven, Homestead, Francine Kopek, Kiss My Grass Acres, getting started on homesteading.
Awesome. How's everybody doing? Well, I hope. I hope well.
Yeah, they'll type something in a second. You guys want to sit down?
No, we're gonna keep moving. We've been trying to get our muscles moving again.
Yeah, after sitting for so long.
Yeah, we drove 12 hours yesterday.
Holy cow.
So, I don't want to sit again. Look at you, Miss Skinny Minnie. Oh, how are you?
So I got a few more people.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'll be back.
Hey. Hey, little man. Hi. I have been waiting to meet you for so long. Oh, yes.
Yeah, nobody watches Daryl.
No, we're perfect.
You have a bunch of people saying hi, Rose, and hi, Ryan.
Hi! I'm still here. Who we got?
Francine said hi, Rose. Green Zebra Gardening says Rose.
You guys are required to sit down for 10 minutes.
Oh, there we go.
No.
Come on, have a seat.
I can't possibly speak. I had to speak twice this morning already. And of course all the questions and talking and chatting and socializing since then. But I had 2 classes I had to teach this morning. I thought it was course. And I still gotta do one tomorrow. So.
You got a speaker right there.
I don't know what I would talk about. I'm just happy to be here.
That's right. We are happy. Camping.
Yeah, we're camping.
We didn't sleep a wink.
You came to the right place, that's for sure.
But we're loving it. We're having fun, seeing everybody, meeting new people. Yes, it's actually a little too warm almost. I'm not going to say that though, because after last year, we froze our tushies off.
Kathleen says, hi guys, I love your goats. Francine, how are the boys after the trip?
Pretty good. Rowan's a little cranky. He didn't nap at all, and Liam napped like 4 times. So he's all happy-go-lucky. They're playing with some kids over at the campsite now, so they're having fun.
Yeah, they're playing hard. They're making up for all that car time.
Yeah, they made a lot of friends already. There's a lot of kids here. If you're thinking about coming to the Homesteaders of America conference next year, and you're wondering whether you should bring your kids, do it for their sake. For your sake, don't do it.
Hi, everybody.
This year he doesn't say,
Hey, big dog.
Come up and say, you don't know me.
You don't know me, do you? Hi, Candy.
Peanut. That's why you came.
How about a voice who he is?
Sit down here, young fella.
I need to be clear so everybody can see Candy.
Sit down here.
What you got?
Oh, say hi. Anybody know who this is?
Free candy.
Anybody know who this is?
Who we got in here?
This guy's name is Josh.
I'm Josh, otherwise known as the Stony Ridge Farmer, here on YouTube.
Right.
Woo!
And there's that sound.
There's how many people you got in here?
It's pretty well died out.
Ah,
It's pretty well died out. I think there's probably still maybe 25 or 30, but
interesting. Cool,
Sampson
man.
Farms, hello.
Well, I'm gonna go mingle.
Okay.
Good seeing you. Bye, everybody.
Stop back tomorrow. Earlier in the
Super fun.
Have a seat. This is what's being broadcast.
Cool.
This
Hi.
is chat that's coming through. So tell the folks who you are. If you have a channel, what channel it is.
We're those people who left early because we're trying to get to the car before everyone else leaves. So we're like on our way to the car. But hi, we just came from the Off-Grid with Doug and Stacy talk.
Okay.
They covered a lot of stuff that I think we're already doing, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm Carrie. This is Spencer. We are from Chattanooga, Tennessee. A little bit outside of Chattanooga, yeah. So far, we're having a great time. We'll be back tomorrow to volunteer. We're doing some volunteering tomorrow afternoon, so.
Yep.
Yeah, but I think they've got a really interesting crowd in there because they're gone over time on their talk and people are still asking questions and everything like that. So, I did not know anything about Doug and Stacy. Have you heard of them?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm totally behind, so now I have to go home and watch all of their videos.
You're probably not familiar with our channel.
No, I don't think I am.
Well, we're probably best known for every Monday night we do a live stream with a different channel.
Cool.
We've had Doug and Stacy as guests.
That's awesome. Wow.
Yeah, and we've had a lot of the bigger channels and a lot of the smaller channels.
Awesome.
So
where are you located?
We are located in Ohio.
Okay, cool. Wow.
But we have been all
So
over the country.
you travel around?
Yeah, we started out in Mississippi last March.
Cool.
So we went to Mississippi, we went to Arkansas, we went to Louisiana, went to Michigan, went to Missouri, went to Georgia, went to Florida, went to
So you can come visit us?
Tennessee. We're in Tennessee 2-3 times.
Awesome.
Been to Kentucky, and we'll be the next one we'll do is the Stivers thing in Kentucky.
Cool.
So
awesome. Well, it was really nice to meet you. I think we're gonna book it so we can get back to
we'll
our
be
car.
safe tomorrow, so-
Yeah, we'll come
All right,
back
cool.
and say
Okay.
hi. Thank you.
All right. Have a great day. Bye bye.